What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there crushing it on the tables. We have set an all-time high for the 100K challenge. We have cashed in on the medals of achievement. America's Card Room has a brand new promo, and we have a cash session to look at of over $170 from last night. Let's jump into it. Biggest hand of the night was actually a loss, and it came with this hand. We are at the 100 NL table, 5-handed, and we have a player who is not quite a regular on here and has a very aggressive game. Open raise from the button to 3x. We have pocket eights in the big blind, and I decide to just call here and get in a pot with this player. Flop is 4 high, 2 tone, 2 3s and a 4 out there. I believe our 8 is going to be good here against this player's opening range. I check back, and he continues bets to 412. I decided to just make a call here, and the turn is the third 3. There's now 1474 in the pot, and I still think we are ahead of most of this player's range. But I'm okay with him trying to put in a bluff here if he has something like a flush draw or a straight draw. So I check back, and he bets 934, and this is a pretty easy call here with the pocket eights. Now I think that there is a possibility that a queen was in this player's raising range pre-flop, or that he could have a pair higher than ours since he's shown aggression throughout this hand, and I think that we can get value from possibly an ace high or a pair less than ours and limit our losses when we are up against a pair larger than ours or a queen that hit in the river here by putting out a blocker bet of 1/3 the size of the pot. It's actually less than 1/3 the size of the pot, and he does call. He did hit the queen on the river. That was an unfortunate river card for us, but I'm not upset with the way that we played this hand, and he's gonna hit that card once in a while. And we're going to maximize our value when we let him bluff away a lot of his chips there with just a queen high drawing to a queen or a 9 there that he's only going to hit a small portion of the time. You can see that we were over 84% on the turn, so he's going to hit that card less than 16% of the time. Next hand we're looking at is pocket queens from Under the Gun +2. This is at the 25 NL table. We open raise to 3x, and we get called by the player to our left. We get called by the cutoff and the button as well. And we see a flop of king high 2 tone. We have middle set here. This is a very draw heavy board, so I decided to lead out, especially with 4 players seeing the flop. And the player to our left raises us 4x. That is very aggressive, and this player probably has a very strong hand. Maybe the nut flush draw, top 2 pair, or a set of 3s. Maybe he's got king ace, and pretty much all of those hands he's probably not going to get away from, especially once he showed that aggression. And he's pretty much pot committed right now too. So this is a great spot to get it all in. And he does make the call with bottom set. We just have to avoid a 3 here, and we do that and pick up this pot of over $54. Now we have pocket 10s, Under the Gun +2, Under the Gun min raises. I just make a call here with the pocket 10s, and we get called from the player to our left as well, and the big blind comes along. There's 4 people seeing the flop, 210 in the pot. The big blind leads out for $1. We do not have much information on this player. He's only played 3 hands, probably a recreational player, has bet 100% of flops, but 3 hands is pretty much nothing. It gives us no value. Maybe he's bet 1 flop so far. But I think our top set here is going to be dominating most of this player's range. I think he could be getting this in with maybe ace 10, a straight draw, a flush draw, maybe he's got 8-7, maybe he has the straight and maybe we're drawing. But I think that is the worst case scenario and is only a small portion of his range. And we're still 35%, knowing that he does have the straight, we are still 35% against this hand. Including the rest of his range, we are going to be way ahead of him right here. So I decided to raise, and he comes back over the top for $11. I still think this player, not knowing much about him, could be doing this with a wide variety of hands. So I'm okay with getting it all in here. And he does show the flop straight. He's got the nuts. We do have a lot of outs going into the turn and river. We just need to hit a 10 or pair the board, which does not happen, and we lose that pot of almost $50. But again, I'm okay with this play. Once in a while, you're going to run into that type of hand, and you're going to lose pots. But even against the flopped nut straight, we still are almost 35%, which is a pretty good percentage to take this pot down. Now we're looking at pocket aces from the small blind. Under the Gun leads out to 3x, and I 3-bet from the small blind here with the aces. Don't want to be playing this one out of position, and And we know that this player, being a regular, probably has a very strong range playing from under the gun and is only going to continue with the very top of that strong range as well. So he does make the call. I'm putting him on pretty much jacks or higher, ace king, maybe ace queen. Flop is 10 high, two-tone. We have the backdoor flush draw, and I think we're going to get this player all in when he does have a pair higher than the 10. So I bet 375 and he calls. Right now I'm assuming he has jacks, queens, or kings. You pretty much rule out ace king. I think ace king would have folded unless he had ace king of clubs, but I have the ace of clubs as a blocker here. The turn is the jack. That hits pocket jacks if he did have it, and gives pocket queens and pocket kings a straight draw, but we are pot committed here, and I'm going to try to get value from the hands that did not hit here. And I jam all in. He makes the call. He shows pocket tens, which I didn't quite think was in his range, but that could be the very bottom of his range, and you have to put that one in there every once in a while. And we unfortunately are up against the ropes right here, and we have to hit an ace on the river, which does not happen, and we lose that pot. I think we played this hand pretty good, though. I'm not too upset with my process here. If you guys think I should have played this one differently, let me know in the comment section below. I think it's just pretty much a cooler and hit the bottom of his flop calling range. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think though. Next hand we're looking at is pocket threes from the big blind. We get an open raise to 3x from the middle position player who has a pretty loose opening range here. And I just make the call with pocket threes. Flop bottom set. It is a rainbow jack high board. I check back because this player has a very high continuation bet percentage. And he bets 2/3 of the pot, $1.01. I know that bet sizing. And that's the button you hit when you have a pretty strong hand. But our strong hand is going to be ahead of your strong hands most of the time here. So I put in a 3-bet and bet 350 here. And he makes a call. I'm assuming he's either got the Broadway draw or he hit that jack, maybe ace jack, jack king for a strong jack here. And he doesn't fold much to flop 3-bets. The 6 did not improve any hands that this player could be playing. So I come out and fire a big bet here, setting us up for a river bet to get this entire chip stack in. When he does make this call, he's going to have a little bit more than $17 left in his stack, and there's going to be 19 and change in the pot, setting up for a perfect river jam for us. And he does make the call. The 4 does not help any cards. When we jam all in here, it's going to look very bluffy to this player, and he's not going to get rid of any jack probably. Any pair higher than the board he's going to call with. The draws did miss, but he's shown that he wants to be in this hand, and he does already have a hand. So I jam all in, and he cannot get away from his jack, and we pick up that pot right there of 54-32 with the bottom set of threes. That was a fun one and worked out to perfection. Now we have ace king on the button. Full drawn to us, we open raise to 3x, and we get 3-bet by the small blind. We've been playing into these players quite a bit because they do have high fold percentages to steals, and there's a possibility that this player could just be playing back at me eventually. So I think that we are good here against this player's range of playing back, or even if he does have a 3-bet hand here. This player has a 0% fold to 4-bet, so I decided to put in a large 4-bet to combat this 0% fold to 4-bet. Let's show some major strength, and maybe we can get some of the lower pairs that this player could be 3-betting with out of the hand. So I bet 1050, which is larger than 4x his bet, but he does jam all in, and we are pot committed here. I'm not going to get away from the ace king. I make the call for the extra 15 bucks. See that we're up against queens. It's a coin flip. We hit our ace on the flop. We have to avoid a 2 to split and a queen for him to win on the river, and we do that and pick up this pot. This one's just a coin flip. It's going to even out in the long run, but I will take it for now. We are up 2 buy-ins on this table. Just cashed in on our last $50 Medal of Achievement, now up to the $100 range, and the poker balance is up over $2,000, the highest point of the 100k challenge. We are still at just over 2% of the 100k, so we have a very long way to go, but we're making progress. Let's just keep on rolling. America's Card Room also introduced the latest offer in their promos, which is a free $100 sports bet, which you can earn by playing poker. Starting September 1st, all you have to do is opt in to the NFL bets in the rewards section of the poker client and play poker on cash games or jackpot poker, and you will clear money which you can bet on sports. Until September 8th, 3 hours before the NFL kickoff. Head down to the video description for the link to America's Card Room to sign up and earn this bonus for yourself. If you have not signed up already, use promo code DKPoker when making your first deposit. You will receive a $1,000 cash deposit bonus as well as 50 tournament bucks. Last year, I had a decent success rate within the sports betting. I only put in a couple bets. I created this little algorithm which was pretty much weather based and had a lot to do with prop bets and the over-under of games, but I had a pretty good success rate. It was a very, very small sample size, so I can't put much strength into this algorithm quite yet, but I might be passing along a couple good spots for you guys to bet on some sports, or where I will be betting on these with the free $100. I'm not going to be using any of the bankroll for the challenge on sports betting though, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up on the poker action as well as future sports betting action with this new promo. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. If you have any comments or questions, leave those in the comment section below. I'm gonna head back out and get in that OSS series again, but I'll be back with a new video tomorrow. Until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.